Leah Kirkpatrick, Family First Realtor. What's happening, Leah? Well, good day. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with me.
Hi, Patti.
Spending some time. We haven't hung out like this in a while.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, a minute. You are no stranger to
Been a
real
minute,
estate.
for
You've
sure.
been in the business, and you have a lot going on. You've got real estate, family. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Tell us a little bit about real estate.
Okay.
Where are you from? You came here from where, and what caused you to get into this industry?
In a nutshell.
Well, I want the real truth.
originally, I'm from California. The OG. Okay, the real truth. No, I'm originally from California, and I came here in '94 to go to UNLV. I was going to get into the medical field. I was going to be a physical therapist. I went to UNLV. I was a single mom at the time, but I always loved real estate. So I was going to college. Some big tragedy happened in my life, and I didn't. I finished my degree, got my bachelor's degree in kinesiology. It's freaking awesome science. But I didn't go back and get my master's. I just kept working. I was a young mom, had to make money. I always loved real estate. I was fascinated by it, wanted to buy it. How can I get me some? So I just loved it. What happened was how I got into it. I guess it was the crash. I started when I got married in 2005. My husband and I started to slowly tip our toes into real estate. And we dabbled in flipping a little tiny bit. We were more interested in big projects. So we invested really big in a project in Mexico. We started eyeballing, looking for neighborhoods where we could buy and hold. Loved it, all of that. I retired from the food and beverage industry. And that's what we were going to do. We were going to just invest. He was in finance already, mortgage finance. But what happened was the crash of 2008. 2008, we got our butts handed to us, lost almost everything, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, all the things. And now we've got our own like little family going. And I had no choice but to go to work, right? But now I'm like in my late 30s. And so real estate was just
Why not?
Real estate was an easy fit. I didn't want to be a real estate agent, actually. There was, investing, there's a lot of agents that want to work with investors. And it was funny because at the time, one of my partners, she was the money, Benisa, actually. Benisa and I, it was our turn for our projects. And Carlton, my husband, would come along. There was one particular agent, whose name I will not say. But we went to his office and had a few consults, and they went and showed us a few properties. All the attention was on my husband and not on myself and Benisa. And we were actually the investors. I would interrupt the consultation, if you will, or when we're out looking at properties. At the time, there was a lot of REOs, right, that were starting to come up. We were looking at all these properties, and I would have questions and this and that, and he would give me one sentence answer, and then he'd go find my husband in the other room. It was so disrespectful. And then just a lot of agents, it's funny, the bar of entry is so low. And so you have all kinds of walks of life that think they're going to just get their license and, be this rock star real estate agent. They have no idea the nuances and intricacies and all the things that go into being a professional agent.
You got into it for the investment purposes and then the service you receive.
Correct.
And I hear that a lot from a lot of people. They get into the business.
Yeah.
Oftentimes because of the service they received, and they feel like they could do better than that.
Yeah, it was a horrible experience, and many agents that we ran across, they were. I call them now. I'm going on my 16th year. I call them now fee churners. That's what they call it in law. Fee churners. They're transactional agents. They're just looking for that next commission check and whatnot. That's not my jam.
In many ways, not just your business. You have like a gazillion kids, right? I love the story about Leah, right? Leah comes up the stairs in the office, and all you hear is bam, bam, bam. And we go, Leah's coming up the stairs. Leah comes up, and then she has her little ducklings. There were like 3 or 4 of them would follow her, and they were all I remember this one day in particular, they were all in perfect size order, right? I think it was Colin, Sophie, and Christian. They all just Colin. And there would Leah go with her little ducklings. So yeah, big family first. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Why did you coin it family first? You were just talking about transactional, and did that play a part in branding your business? Okay.
Yeah, well, so I didn't start off that way. Family First didn't happen real quick. So I ended up getting my license. My husband was already doing mortgages at the time. People were doing what are they called? Now I can't even think what they are. People
Refinancing,
were
HELOCs?
refining, but what were they called? Those
Home equity loan. I mean, loan mods,
no,
yeah.
the other thing. Loan modifications. Thank you. They were doing loan modifications, and so he was
For the
busy
companies
doing
that
that.
would let
at
him
the
do a
time
loan
of
modification.
the
That was a
crash.
big
And,
barrier.
I had to go. Yes, those that let him. It was really tough, and so out of necessity, I have to go back to work. I had 3 kids. I have 5 total. We have 5, but I had 3 littles at home, so I had to go back to work. So I knew about real estate. I didn't like the one side of the fence. I knew a lot about the other side of the fence. So I went ahead and got my license. And it was a natural fit because the market had crashed. So the only thing out there was real estate owned, REOs, and short sales. And I knew what it was like. I myself, if I'm being completely transparent, I was in foreclosure myself. So that's another conversation because that's a mind, you know what,
Well,
helping
who's better
people
to
in
help
their
them? I mean,
situation
life
when you
dealt
yourself in that
everybody a pretty
situation as well.
significant blow, but to be relatable
Right,
in
someone-
that moment and being authentic and vulnerable doesn't mean you're not a fighter. I mean, you are. Yeah, you not only fight for yourself, but anybody else around you wouldn't want to get into your path. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of comes that way. I mean, I'm passionate about family. So getting my niche early on was short sales. And I got a lot of them because I came from not that agent that I had known before, the transactional, whatever. I actually, my approach was more a consultative approach because here you have families that are in transition. You have families that are in foreclosure. They don't know what's happening. The systems were not well oiled like they are
It was a
now.
messy time. It was a
so
messy
it was
time,
kind
and
of,
people were really being things were
a bleep show.
being handed to them in a way it was hard to recover from, hard to accept that people had to let go of their homes and take a loss, and nothing was figured out.
It was really hard. So no, it wasn't. So you had to go in and have compassion, but you had to have the skill to know what to do and the confidence. I have all of those things. I care about families. I have a family. I love families. I love kids. I love being a mom so much. But my personality, behavioral style is a woman of action, I guess you would say. I want to. My first slogan, I guess you would say, I had a coach help me with it, and it was relentless pursuit of the dream for you. In relentless pursuit of the dream for you. So that was how I started my career, and I went after it. I went after it because these people needed help, and they didn't need that transactional agent that was just out to make a buck and put another notch in the belt. I actually genuinely and lovingly wanted to help them. So I rolled my sleeves up, I dug deep, and I helped as many families as I could get into a better situation. Even if they had to lose their home, at least they could short sell it, and we won't get in the weeds, but all the things you could do to help them with the most advantageous outcome possible.
You do so much more than you just don't collect a check, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of hours, a lot of things you do that are out of. They don't teach you that in real estate school. So you've got to.
They
go
don't train
find
you
it.
for all that stuff.
And you
So
have
you've
to
got to
put
go out
yourself
and
in
get
the
it
right
yourself.
environment
You've got to
and
develop
find
yourself for all of
answers
those.
to that. Part of it was just inherently
Yes.
you. You just had to work within framework of the law and treating people right. Yeah, so then you've really advanced. So it's been 16 years. You're Rookie of the Year. You came in with the right intention, your authentic self, and working in your behavioral and personality style. Now you are a master's certified divorce expert. I know I just botched that, but it's something big. You've really invested a lot of, invested in alignment
fine.
with who you are now. Tell me, tell me about that. What is the actual term? Because you have some big things
about
coming
that.
up.
How that happened? It's actually, so there is a designation. It's a high level designation. It's a certified divorce real estate expert, or CDRE. I am a master CDRE, which means I have additional training and just higher level of that designation. It's a master CDRE. So in 2019, I was going through a lot in 2019, but what happened was that summer we got a visit from my mentor, Laurel Stark. She's a mega agent in California in Rancho Cucamonga, my hometown. And she came here to Keller Williams, Las Vegas, and did a top agent mastermind. And she was looking to build her company because she herself had been in family law, specifically divorce, though, niche for like 15 years prior to even this. So she's approaching like 20-year mark or more, I guess, in this niche. But she came out and she was having developing a boot camp, whatnot. Fast forward to now, she's built this company, this designation. It's very high level. You get training from. So first of all, there's a huge vetting process you have to go through.
What we see in real estate, right? You just, if you can have a check, you can get in. It's more than that.
No. Yeah, you just pay the $200 and get
This
your
is a real commitment.
seller expert designation for the weekend or whatever. No, it's a really big commitment. You have attorneys and judges that pre-screen you. You have to have letters of recommendation by people in the field, in family law or in real estate field. You've got to do a certain level of production. You have to have a curricular vitae already created, which most people in our industry don't even know what that is, but you have to have that. There's a lot of things you have to do. Once you're accepted, it's expensive. It's not cheap. But then there's a 6-month commitment. I think it's changed now. I've been a CDRE
So you had
since
like a
2022.
couple of year run up before that actually happened, didn't?
Yeah, 2022. I'm a master now. There's only 3 masters in the state of Nevada. There's only 3 of us. It's not a designation either that you get handed out like candy, passed out like candy. She has a limited amount because family law is not, you don't prospect and you don't service the family law community the same that you do traditional. We don't market the same. We don't do our consultations the same. There's a lot more rigorous
family law. You're working with an attorney to help people dissolve their real estate, right? And part of whatever they're. Okay.
Right.
Now let me ask
whether
you,
it's probate or
Stark
divorce.
Is the one who turned you on to this. When I think divorce, and it sounds very emotional and very heated. And why would you? I mean, if I'm being honest, why would you walk right into that fire? Do I have it wrong? Because I don't want to be around people who are that emotionally charged. And,
No,
and
you don't have it wrong.
Divorce can be ugly.
Sometimes it is. I mean, I guess I cut my teeth. You'd say, you look at your life and at the time you're going through something, you might not know why you're going through that. It doesn't make sense to you. And it happens slowly, then suddenly you're in it, right? So I think when I first got into real estate, again, for different reasons than most people do, I cut my teeth in short sales because that's highly charged. There's conflict.
It was a very, very tough time for.
It was messy, but you do it for those reasons.
Like a good challenge.
Well, there's certain people that will, certain people. Let's put it this way: certain people
run into it,
will run away from a fire, and other people run towards a fire. So I guess, but we need those people.
Fair enough.
And so I guess I'm one of those people. I run towards a fire. We get a lot of training, a ton of training over that. I have my conflict resolution certificate that I got from Cornell University.
Well,
so I'm doing other training outside to brush
very
up on my
based,
skills.
And also with your,
yes.
I always say your kids are going to grow up to cure cancer or save the world or something. You're very family focused and on education. And it shows through in the little ducklings.
Yeah. Yeah, they know discipline. They're all athletes, and they're all.
So tell me how.
Really
I mean,
good
how are you
scholars.
juggling it all? I mean, you've built this career. You're certified divorce master. You also have something. Well, actually, let me get back to that. You also have something big. You're speaking at a conference, right? Which is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So family law. Yeah. There's differences. Yeah. So the reason I want to back up too, and the reason why the specialty, like why the designation, what makes you different than another realtor, traditional real estate, because other realtors do divorce cases also, but there's a lot of nuances of the divorce case that you should be an expert in. And in real estate, we talk about you should not be doing anything that's beyond your scope of expertise. And a lot of agents, they will risk it and they'll do something like I would never sell land just to sell.
Right?
I'm not going to sold land. I don't know much about it.
Physician to do open heart surgery. I'm going to a specialist, even though they fall under their doctors in the medical field.
Right.
Right.
Well, there's liability and nuances of things like you wouldn't just do wouldn't do an open house on a divorce case when you've got children involved. You don't put signs in the yard when the children don't know what's happening. You've got protective orders, restraining orders. There's all kinds of things around that. The conference. So family law in every state is different, but in Nevada, the family law conference in Nevada, family law conference happens once a year. It's usually in September, October. It's in Lake Tahoe, and about 450, 550 family law attorneys from the state will go in attendance. Yeah, and they go and they get like their bundled CE classes, continuing law education. They're called CLEs, continuing law education. They go up there for that. They also get
with
updates.
That is what I'm hearing is you're going to be in front
updates.
of a large group of people that that's pretty influential.
So they've asked me to
and
speak.
That's pretty exciting because they're going to want to work with. I mean, imagine if people
I'm
are
really
doing
excited.
a high level of settling divorces, they want to work with people who understand the framework that they're working in, as opposed to just somebody else. It makes sense. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You said
it's
it's
exciting.
in November?
So it's going to be in Tahoe. Thank you. So I'm speaking. It's actually, I think it's in October.
Okay.
The last
Perfect time
few
to
days
be
of
in
September,
Tahoe,
early
too.
days of October or something. So I've got a few months to prepare, but
So tell me a little
I'm
bit
really-
about
I'm super
the
excited
kiddos.
about it.
You've
It's
been
gonna be
juggling
great.
it all. That's
So-
where I was going, right? You're building this business for yourself. You have all these children. They're all doing well. How do you keep it all together? I mean, a lot of running around, a lot of different, everybody's in sports or in something. Okay.
priorities. So we're faith-based family. We're Catholic family. We go to church, all the things, but family's first. And I think, the older you get, the more perspective you have on things. And so I don't concern myself so much with making sure all the chores are done before we have fun. I don't concern myself. I switch my hats when I go home. I really try to shut it off. Shut it off, and my clients and their problems and whatever files I have or whatever's going on at work, I try to shut it off because I'm a different person at home and their world is priority. So whatever's going on in their world, I listen.
Oh, I bet you're a fun mom. I
talk very fast, I have high energy, but I
listen.
listen.
Stories that I would love to hear more about.
We have fun.
And that's funny. Bruce Hardy had given me a piece of advice. I was taking a class, and he said, it's hard for agents to set boundaries sometimes. You really have to develop that skill and understand the priority. And he said, I remember I came into the house once and I was on the phone and my daughter was tugging at me and I was on the phone and it hit me. This person I'm talking to on the phone about a deal, they're not going to remember me in 50 years. The person who I care about most when I come in, that's when I need to give my attention to. So ever since then, whenever I go home, when my kids were little, I made sure everything was done. I never walked in the door with the phone in my hand. And that stayed with me because how long did it take you to cultivate that?
100%,
Because it can be a little crazy. Or have you always just naturally been, I'm home now?
It's kind of natural. You know why? Because when I got in this crazy business, they were little and little toddlers and babies. I mean, you have to stop there. You can't tell them to wait just a minute. So it just kind of happened that way. I had the teenagers too. Nicholas and
the kids as
Tori
they get
were
older,
teenagers,
they take
and
care
they
of
helped
each other,
a lot. We just bond. Yeah, they kind of take over each other, and I really did. It's funny that you brought up the little duckling thing because we do have a pecking order in the house, and that's it's funny because you can use business practices at home, and so I leverage my children. Not in a bad way, but like if you're going somewhere and you're traveling somewhere, you're responsible for him. He's responsible for you. Hold hands, this, that, whatever. Because I honestly can't do it all. And if I try to do it all, it doesn't work out so well.
Another piece is you're in business, especially in this business, leveraging. I remember, what is it? Do it, dump it. What is it again? Do it, dump it, delegate it.
The 4 Ds.
Delay it.
Do it, dump it, delegate it, delay it.
Yeah,
My kids
and
learn
it's good
that
because
too. I'm always coaching them
and
on
it's
stuff.
coming back to you now, right?
They get graphs and charts. They learn all kinds of
All of a
stuff.
sudden, they'll say something in conversation. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it makes me so proud when I hear them. Yes, I'll hear them say something.
You
I'm
gotta move faster. You
my
gotta
heart,
move with the purpose. Move with a
my
sense
cup
of
overflow.
urgency. And my older one said, "Yeah, Mom, not too long ago, you need to move with a purpose." Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about as a family, and that's the other thing too. Like families first, we have our little symbol. We go like this. We go like that. That means meeting of the minds. So they know it's not just, like in the old days, probably like when we were young. It's like when mom and dad want to have a family meeting or talk, and then you go, oh boy, what are we going to talk about? We do bring that to the table, but we bring it in such a way that we end on a good note, and we let everybody talk, and we let everybody have their thing. Mom and dad are the bosses. What they say is law. But we let them, like when I was teaching them to drive, I'm like, it's your choice. We have to go to this place, but you can choose to go straight or you can choose to go right. You're driving. Which way would you like to go? You'd like just really start.
Well, you can't be with that many
not a
kids, right?
helicopter
They have
mom
to
at
kind of
all.
fend
If
for
anything-
themselves in some way.
No.
Yeah, so you have what?
I'd have a
One
fleet-
in
a fleet of
college,
helicopters.
2
No.
in high school, right? The other 2 are grown and on their own. You have grandbabies.
2 in high school, 1 in college.
Number
Yeah, 2 more.
3?
I have 2 grandbabies and another
Tori?
one on the way.
Okay, that's
Yes.
no fun for you.
My daughter Tori is
Right?
having another baby.
That's
I'm
the
so
best?
excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. So it's the best. I can't believe it. So exciting. So yeah, the baby's coming in November. We don't know well, actually, not November. The other babies were November. This one is due date's
Could be
actually New Year's Day.
It
Believe
could be
it or
the
not.
first baby.
New Year's
of
Day.
the New Year. How exciting would that be?
Right?
Yeah. So you got lots of
be.
love in your life, lots
know,
of
I know.
family, big sense of community. How is what does wealth mean to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I bet.
It's changed. Every decade it changes. There are times when you think it's as much money as you can amass. Then other times it's things, and all the while you check yourself and you go, oh no, it's faith, it's family, it's this and that. But secretly you do want other things. But all in all, as the perspective changes and I change, I'm already wealthy. I don't earn 8 figures a year, and I don't have a huge portfolio of real estate.
Right.
But I already have wealth. So I'm grateful for everything I have now. I strive for more things, but not for the sake of having more.
Time,
It's for the
right?
sake
In
of
your,
giving more.
20s, 30s, you want to get stuff, and then you get to a certain point. If everybody's happy,
Yes. Right.
yeah,
40s, 50s, it changes. I am building my company. I'm building my businesses to make more money, but it's not for money's sake. It's for teaching them for my children to do the same. And there are genuinely people out there that don't have
you're leading
anybody
by a
else
good
that I would
example,
love to
getting up
help, that
every
I want to
day
help.
and putting the
So
work
it's
in.
for that.
Yeah, and the wealth part of it, it changes over
Yeah.
time. I want time.
Yeah.
Right? It's the time because I often say, what do we
Yes.
got, 20, 30 years
Yes.
left in our 50s? I want time.
100%,
I want
Patty.
time to do
Time
what I
is
want, when I want, with who I want. Usually
can't buy
for me, I'm
time.
out in the open road, I'm traveling, and my kids are at the point where
Yeah.
I don't have to be around
Yeah.
as much. I'm still around, however, it's changed. So what does that look like for you when everybody's out
Yeah.
of the house? I mean, you and Carlton, what is... Oh, well, you could tell me whatever you
I
want.
run around
if you
naked in
wanna
my
share
house, or
that,
what
go
do I do?
ahead, right? If that's on your list. But that's 5, 10 years from now. Yeah, 5 and 10 years from now. You got love,
I like
health,
to feel
wealth.
free.
Your business is going...
Well, so I will say this: something won't ever change because people will ask that, right? And they think, I can't wait till the kids are out of the house. I'm actually miserable that the kids are going to be out of the house, and I'm not downsizing because I want everybody to still come to the nest. I want everybody on the holidays. If I downsize to a condo for me and my husband, then we have to go.
I have
But if
a
keep
sense that
the
your
big
house is the hub
and
right now,
pool and
right? Yeah.
So
Okay. So keep that. So having the
it
hub.
is the hub, and yeah, it's the
But
hub.
what are you doing?
We'll keep it as
Yeah,
long
what are
as
you
we
doing
can.
5, 10 years from now,
But
everybody's out of the
honestly,
house?
private
What does your
time.
day look like? And you're not worried about having to shuffle people around and
Well, hopefully.
yep.
I'm just checking in with work, which would be great. Maybe keeping some key clients. For divorce and probate, I'll keep that streamline going. Those relationships won't expire for a really long time. But maybe traditional business, I check in with that. Travel, definitely travel. It's going to be between my husband and I, or me and my girl trips. I have not had a mom trip or girl trip in a long time. That's why I love our retreat so much, because
perspective.
it's my time to get away from everybody and just, pour into me and pour into other people and just, so more of that. And then, of course, traveling for
so
the
they're-
kids, because
they're-
who
and what are
knows?
they gonna
There's
be doing?
5
They'll
of
be
them.
doing big
So
stuff.
where are they all going to land? Some of them are going to be
Yeah.
doing big stuff. Some of them are going to be doing their own businesses. Tori's building a family. Yeah. So I need to make sure that I'm able to go. And then I just lost my dad. I know, I just lost my dad. So that was really hard. But so I've got my mom and my aunt. My aunt is my godmother, and
Yeah.
she's not getting any younger either. So I have those 2 ladies I got to keep my eyeballs on. So I'll be caring for them too. It happens in this part of your life, right? Where you've got, sometimes you have littles and you have seniors
Yeah,
that
one of those
you
88
have to
lives not
juggle
far from
both.
the office
So
here, and I have to make sure that there's going to come a time when
yeah,
I won't
gotta
have
check
that
in.
opportunity. It
Yeah.
means something differently to me now being 54 than when I was 30, and
Yes,
yeah, that's a timepiece. I don't want time to become a four-letter word. I want to curate my life to
it is.
do the things that are important to me with the people that I want. Everything else falls by the wayside. It gets a lot easier as you
Yeah.
get older. Yeah. Anything else you're
Yeah, it
working
does.
on or doing
I
that
think
you
it
want
feels
to
that
share
way.
with anybody? Just loving life.
No, I mean, yeah, just I mean, right now we're coming into summer at this time right now, so I've got some traveling because my daughter Sophia is still playing club softball, and that's
What
so
grade is
fun.
she?
So
A
we
junior
travel
now
for
or
that,
senior?
and then
Oh, mama.
she is
Okay.
entering her senior year. So next year will be a big year. We've got a lot going on next year, but yeah, so I'll be traveling a lot and building up for business aspect. It's summertime, so it's a good time to build for fall because fall is the last stretch of the year. There's a lot of things that happen in the fall. Everybody thinks like the end of the year, but it's like the last stretch of the year to try to get everything, help as many people as you can, get everything done before the holidays get here. There's a lot of things that happen, and I love fall just for the energy of fall. The holidays
School season
come,
starts. It's kind of like
the
you
weather
get back in
changes.
order, right?
It's just cool. Yeah, it's yes. So
Nice.
summertime is prepping for that. So I'll take a little R&R.
On the boat.
I'll be at softball. I'll be building for fall, and
Yeah.
yes, we're going to take
like
the
the big
Eliminator,
You're not excited
850
about that.
horsepower.
Yeah. Super fun.
We'll be going to Havasu. Yeah. We love the water. So my Colin knows how to water ski.
Yeah,
We're going to get
family first
Sophia
activity.
and Christian on water skis. So yeah.
All right, you ready for the lightning
Family
round?
first. Everything
All right, you
family
ready?
first.
Now this is going to be to remind you.
Yeah, let's do the
couple of
lightning round.
questions. Got to answer them in 10 seconds or less. So don't be a weenie and
10 seconds
and drag
or
it
less.
out. I'm just going to snap my fingers if you do that. You ready? Okay. And drag it out.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
whatever.
here we go.
Come on, I'll play with you. Right?
I feel like I need a button to push.
Favorite local spot in Las Vegas to unwind.
Okay.
Favorite local spot in Las Vegas?
Okay. Early bird
Oh shoot, I missed that
or
one.
night owl.
Home.
How old am I? Early bird or night?
You're an early bird.
How old am I?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, you're asking
Early
me,
bird or
so
night
you're-
owl? Right now,
Gotta go.
early bird. Before
Your
night
go-to
owl.
personal motto or favorite quote.
Your go-to personal motto or favorite quote?
I have too many of them, but one I use all the time is if you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity,
That one. Dream
nothing else
travel
matters.
destination.
Anything where there's blue ocean
First
water,
concert you
sandy
ever
beaches,
attended?
and palm trees.
First concert you ever attended?
Hidden
gonna
talent
age
most
myself.
people
Van
don't know
Halen.
about.
Hidden talent most people don't know about.
I can tie a cherry. Oh, I don't know if that's a talent or not. I can tie a
The stems.
cherry. What is those
That's
things
why you have
called?
5 kids.
Stem
Favorite
and a knot.
comfort food?
Lasagna. Favorite comfort
Beach, mountains, or city?
Lasagna, of course. Italiana.
beach, mountains, or city?
If I could
All
be
right.
at the beach
Final
with a
question.
mountain
If you had
cliff,
10
that's
extra
perfect.
hours a week, how would you spend them?
Final question. If you had 10 extra hours a week, how would you spend them?
Nice. Little me
Getting a
time.
massage, swimming, or reading.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I love
Me
you to
time. I
love
would
you to
do more
pieces,
me
Leah
time.
Bobia.